Welcome back, everyone, to Disco Elysium. Your hero, Dwayne Lefebvre, otherwise known as DraxxKraven, when it's time to get spooky. The wall has collapsed. It's inaccessible now. The central furnace. A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring it pitch black. Looks like this furnace has a face, and it's a face of agony. What is this thing? Is it a furnace? Looks like it. Looks like an old central furnace used to heat the building. It's connected to the chimney. No one's used it in ages. No signs of any recent fire, just a few dead rats. It's dark and grimy in here. In the darkness, you can hear chatter. It's coming from above. A voice, or several voices, talking to each other near the smoke chamber. The echo is so prominent, it's impossible to discern what the voices are saying, or what's producing them. What are you doing? I hear the murder of the hanged man talking. I'm not sure, Kim, but I think I can hear someone talking upstairs. Wait, really? Maybe it's coming from behind those safety curtains we saw upstairs. Hey! Oh, and because I called Slipstream SCA twice, and I am helping Suna with her research, I get a bonus on this physical instrument roll. Smear your hands with coal? Why? Why would I do such a thing? I'm gonna put on my white tank top, and hello! Whoops. Something breaks loose in you. A mighty bellow echoes through the chimney's depths. The chatter of tiny voices above suddenly cease, and then... You've awakened the entity. Hello? Are you there? Speak to... I summon the ghost of this doomed commercial area. Answer me, spirit!
Hello? Did you say anything? I can't hear you. Please come upstairs. There's a safety curtain on the second floor. I'll open it.
You hear a low rumbling upstairs, the sound of a curtain being pulled aside. After you, officer. Why can't I smear my hands with coal? There's gotta be a reason. Like, would it give me additional grip on the barbell? Who knows? An ice cream maker, defrosted and unplugged. The flashlight casts a strange shadow. There is a hidden doorway here. Yeah. Two rusty rifles are hidden above the piping. They look inoperable. Someone has stuck some busted guns beneath the ceiling. Where are we? Seems like an old bunker from the Revolutionary period. Look at all those rifles. Must be an old weapons cache. There is, yes. And there also appears to be something inside the hole. Interesting. Do you want to take a look? I do. Your hand reaches deep inside the darkness and spider webs. Rummaging around, you find a rusty rifles hidden away. Rifles, Kim? Are these any good? Most of them are rusty and inoperable like the rest, but one catches your eye. A bolt-action model with a fine wood stock. In better cosmetic order than the others, at least. Well, this one looks kind of nice. An old belle maigre from the Revolution. Seems to no longer be functional, but still a beautiful thing in its own way. Why is a rifle here? It means there are firearms, breech loaders, still lying around in Montanay's. This would have been good in our case against Ruby for Titus, but too late for that now. Still, might be useful down the road. He likes the find. Okay, so if we had come in here earlier and found the rifles, we could have been like, "Yo, Titus, what do you mean, what guns? I got one right here." There are caches all over the town. Just because the one that we found didn't have anything good in it doesn't mean the other ones don't. In regard to where did she get the gun? 390. A broken Belmograph may just pass. It's a 4-shot bolt-action military rifle with a wooden frame. Huh. Jeez, these poor ice cream makers. Still running? Ooh, some Nosafed. Yoink. 70 real. And an insane mesh tank top. Nice. Intercom wires run into the breaker box. Ooh, spare change. Oh, a cellar window. People's feet shuffle by on the street. Well, wait. Let me check this thing out. This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It is a hand-cranked ice cream churner on top and an electric freezer that appears to be frozen shut. Turning the ice cream crank? Turning the crank feels oddly satisfying, like stirring your childhood dreams. In the distance you hear water dripping. It's all gone now. You never became a poet or an entrepreneur. What better to assuage the creeping sense of failure than some frozen fat and sugar? Try to crack open the lid. You slip your fingers under the frozen lid, but the ice is too cold for you to get a good grip. A pry bar would come in handy, or maybe the Kvalson's KR +2 multi-tool. Didn't Suna give you a perfect tool for the job? Yes, she did. Wait, no, that's the tape player. Nope, that's not what I meant. No, damn it. There we go. All right, we're good. Oh, jeez. Better grip with gloves. Still, that's not so good. Let me try turning it off. Unplug the giant black cable. Very smart. Opening the lid should be much easier after the ice cream maker has been defrosted. He's not kidding. Machine is unplugged. Okay. What do I have that raises my physical instrument? I think it's just the tank top and the shirt from Heimdall, but obviously those don't stack up. Oh, jeez. Yep. Alrighty then. Godspeed. Nice. Ice groans and howls under the strain of your giant Kvalson multi-tool until the lid cracks open. Darkness lies inside, but you can faintly make out an object intricate and foreign, left there for a sub-zero beauty sleep, a filament memory with words off-site copy written on its side. Disappointment washes over you as you stare into the almost empty ice cream maker. What, no ice cream? A scoop of ice cream would have been nice, yes. The lieutenant agrees. Someone's stomach grumbles. The room feels very cold. Take the filament memory. We should take it back to Miss Lukanen killed as soon as possible. I'm not sure how well unused filaments tolerate room temperatures. Yes, but aren't you curious to know what's on the precious filament? There's a radio computer upstairs. Ooh, good point. Up the stairs we go. I mean, we can only hope that the password for this filament memory in particular is the same. Wait a minute. Gotta put on my conceptualization pants. Oh, that's not it? What? What does she mean that's not it? What's the password then? Maybe it's the second part of the leitmotif. After death, life again. Good. Ka-ching! That's all for now. Filaments. Oh, wait, no. Press print. Oh, damn it. Oh. Wait a minute. Did I put in... Oh, crap. I put in the production schedule. Okay, so I have to press play, put in the password. Press print. There we go. It sounds like something cracks before the piece of paper starts filling up with pure black ink. Something's broken. Machines aren't supposed to behave like this. Look inside the compartment. Behind the hatch sits a cube. Read the printout. The paper is soaked with ink, its monochrome darkness spanning from margin to margin. It's not possible to make out any information. What happened? It's just covered in ink. Odd. Something's obviously broken here. A single speck of white shines out from the shade. For some reason, the printer decided to spare this one tiny dot of paper. Marked by the devil itself! Huh. Did I keep it? I did not. So I have the off-site copy. That's super weird. Huh. Maybe it's like a map showing where the swallow is. Well then, this is a tray full of dice. Colorful polyhedral dice. Hundreds of them. The candy dispenser has been repurposed to contain thousands of dice.
Hello, I'm Nia.
The novelty dice maker. A bird-like woman sits on a throne of tools with emerald light shining through her hair.
Did you try knocking on my window? I must have missed you. I've been listening to my Melius. So what kind of die are you looking for?
Could this be the malicious entity? Perhaps it's wise to go along with this masquerade for now. She's got a direct view to the backyard. You should interrogate her about the lynching. What do you mean by milieu?
Yes, a milieu is like a calling station. You need a two-way radio to access one. That's why I have these.
Oh.
Mostly, they just teach you to swear in different languages. But some of the stations can be quite interesting. I was so absorbed, I must have missed you knocking.
You must have me confused with someone else. I haven't knocked on your window.
Then how did you get inside? By the south entrance? You know what? It doesn't even matter. What matters is that you're finally here. Let's talk dice. Did
Why?
you have something specific in mind?
Why are you asking me about dice?
I'm a novelty dice maker. Tell me the name of your role-playing system and I'll make the die you need. That's why you're here, yes?
As she speaks, her bone-like fingers fiddle with a ring. Her bones light, but her hands are strong. Role-playing games? You know the one made by Fortress Accident? Does that count? Maybe. I'm not really sure why I'm here, honestly.
How strange. Well, if you're interested, my rate is 10 real per set, unless you want something really unusual. Take a look around and see if there is any particular stone you want to use.
It almost looks as if the stones and dice are a natural part of the room, growing out of the shelves like stalagmites. No falsehoods are present. She is a novelty dice maker and doesn't have anything to hide. Ask what you need. I'd like to order a die from you. Of course. Tell me what you have in mind. Do you have any cursed dice? What do you mean by cursed? As cursed is my life. Alright, how about I surprise you? Come back in 8 hours with 7 real and I'll give you your cursed dice. Alright, it's a deal. Great. See you in 8 hours then. She takes a small notebook from her table. Was there anything else? How did you become a dice maker? How did I become one? It was a business decision. I was a regular jeweler at first, but that's an unfocused field with too much competition. She doesn't let it show, but there's anger in there. She doesn't like jewelers. Thinks they're a mob. Some of my friends were role players, and they asked me to make some polyhedral dice out of cobalt. That was my first order, and I grew from that. Do you like role-playing games? Not especially. I like working with rare materials and a steady pay. And role players are customers. They're nice people. Some of those nice people have big bucks to spend on novelty items. She's thankful for the security they provide her. Do you know anything about the man who was lynched behind the whirling in rags? Nothing, really. I didn't know him. Who cares about the dead body? We might be dealing with a malignant entity here. The lieutenant looks at his notebook, then the woman under the large window. Your window looks directly into the courtyard. You're saying you didn't see or hear anything unusual last Sunday evening? I'm sorry, detective, but as you know, I usually have my headphones on when I'm working. It shuts out most of the daily ruckus behind my window. What do you mean by daily ruckus? Well, there's always something going on in the Whirling's backyard. During daytime, there are usually those kids, and lately I've been seeing a lot of drunk workers hanging about. Must be because of the strike. She's heard of the murder, but did not see it, sire. She's not sorry to disappoint you. Informing on someone in a murder investigation would intrude upon her focused existence. But I never saw anyone during that fateful Sunday night, I'm afraid. Do you often work Sunday nights? It's an odd profession, making dice for people, but I like it, and I prefer doing this to sitting at home. Oh, I see. Thank you. Anything else, officer? Where are we anyway? What is this place? We're inside the chimney of an old central furnace. It's strange, I know. She looks at the ruddy bricks that make up the walls. Even though they've been repainted, there are still signs of coal-black soot here and there. But when I arrived here, all the other rooms were taken, so I had to build myself a little makeshift home. Besides, I don't really have to pay any rent here, so that's a plus. Placence was right. There is an entity living in the chimney. You should ask her about the curse. Creative. I've heard this place is cursed. Did you know that people call this the doomed commercial area? I've heard the stories, but I don't think those stories are true. Placence is the one who sent me. She's convinced that the place is swarming with malicious energies. Placence? The bookshop lady? I've heard that her business is doing rather well. Have the energy spared her somehow? Actually, the bookstore isn't doing that well. There are hardly any customers, and she has to exploit her own daughter to keep the company going. All right, but it's not just the bookstore that's still up and running. What about the Whirling and Rag? Some people say it's part of the complex. Hold on, the Whirling is part of the doomed commercial area? Yeah, you could say so. Both houses were built in the same time and under the East Delta Commerce Center project. Yes, but it's still a separate building. The malicious energies can't reach there. And then there's me. I've been here for 14 years, selling novelty dice to role-playing enthusiasts. Not exactly a million real business idea, yet somehow I've survived despite the talk of malicious energies. Strange, isn't it? It's because she's in cahoots with the demons. Maybe it's just because she's so talented that she's been able to woo the curse. I'll be the first to admit, there are many inconsistencies about this so-called curse. I was just about to ask, what do you think? Do you think the curse is real? The jig is up. The she-demon knows you've uncovered her true identity. Time has come to face the source. Fear not, for the forces of the universe are supporting you in their psychic quest. I'm starting to see that there is no curse, only business decisions and natural market fluctuation. Exactly. Truth is always so disappointingly mundane and boring. But I'm glad we got this sorted out. Is there anything else I can help you with today? That's all she has to say on the subject. She's been thorough and truthful as far as we can see. The bookstore closes starting 2100. You'll have to do that tomorrow. 1 second. Let me turn my shivers up. Shivers. Shivers. I've got... Oh, right. That takes away shivers. Doesn't give me any more. Alright. Why hasn't her business failed? Shit. I'll leave it at that. Do I really want to raise my shivers from 9 to 10? Yeah, sure. Fuck it. Why not? I got another level up coming on. Boom! A gust of cold air sweeps through the chimney. The stones and minerals on the shelves rattle as though agitated. For a moment, it almost feels as though you're outside the building, exposed to the atmosphere. This is still just a theory, but hear me out. I think I know why your business hasn't failed. Didn't we already talk about this? It's because you're not in the same building as the others. This isn't technically the doomed commercial area. What are you talking about? My address is exactly the same, Rue de St. Ghislaine 10. No, the old coal plant that used to be here was subsumed into the new venture. Its ruins swallowed up, yet it has a different address in the heart of the city. No, it used to be a coal plant. You're in the chimney of a different building. This doesn't make any sense. She looks around in the makeshift nest that she has carved out for herself, bewildered. Are you saying my business was spared because of a technicality? Where is this coming from? It has a different address in the heart of the city. And what does it mean? That I'm safe from failure? Don't let her become complacent. She still needs to ward her soul against the evil forces. I mean, no one's ever really safe from failure. She starts laughing, her fingers trying to rub away exhaustion from her face. What? Do you know what this is? She raises her hand to reveal a piece of metal shining on her index finger. It looks like a regular piece of jewelry to me. It's a mourning ring. I made this when my first company failed. It was a small jewelry shop right here in the East Delta Commerce Center, built with the little I inherited from my parents. I drove it into the ground within a year. I didn't have what you could call a viable business plan. Why are you telling me this? It wasn't just the jewelry shop either. I always thought that it was just the world, that you were supposed to try again and again until you finally succeed. And now you're telling me what? That it was all because I didn't run my little shops and ventures from a dump inside an ancient abandoned chimney? Don't call it a dump. This place is really nice and cozy. Yeah. She stares out of the windows, not really hearing your words. Or maybe it's the entire world that's cursed. It's such a precarious place. Nothing ever works out the way you wanted. That's why people like role-playing games. You can be whoever you want to be. You can try again. Still, there's something inherently violent even about dice rolls. It's like every time you cast a die, something disappears. Some alternative ending or an entirely different world. She picks up a pair of dice from the table and examines them under the light. But, anyway, thanks for sharing your theories, officer. Do you know what happened to the other tenants? Everyone else is gone. More or less. Are you interested in anyone specific? Oh, quite a lot of them spring to mind. Rats scuttle in the dark rooms, under the abandoned blow dryer and dusty mannequins. Cobwebs cover rotors and radio computers alike. So much failure. There used to be a hair salon, right? Yes, I think it was called Androgynous Orlando or something. They weren't a big hit around here. Turns out that working class men don't like genderless haircuts. They're kind of scared of the word. You wouldn't like it either. The others would laugh at you. A bit of experimenting every now and then isn't bad. It's not about the haircut. It's about confidence. What's wrong with a bit of experimenting? The customer should have been more open-minded. I guess it just wasn't the time yet. So what happened to the gym? It wasn't merely a gym. It was Artemitep's Boxing Club, a community project creator to steer youth at risks away from drugs and crime. Who is Artemitep? A kind man from Zimsk. I heard he had some trouble with the law when he was younger, and that's why he wanted to start the gym, as his way of giving back. Maybe that's what Kuno needs, a community-centric boxing club. Kuno? Who's Kuno? The little ginger gremlin who likes to defile dead bodies? Oh, you mean the kid with the sailor's mouth. Yes, I've heard him yelling profanities in the backyard. I think it will take more than a gym to help that kid. Well, how did it work out? It didn't. If anything, it made the youth situation in Martinez worse. At some point, someone started a rumor that the punching bag downstairs was full of amphetamines. You should have known! It's not really full of that. No one would store their drugs in a thing you punch. Eventually, the coalition took away the funding and the club went bankrupt. This was a few years ago. It's gotten much more peaceful around the plaza ever since. What's up with all the broken windows? Oh, this one's a mess. There used to be a company that promised to repair windows 24 hours a day. What could be wrong with this one, right? It turns out the business was actually set up as a front for an illicit group that was producing snuff milieus. Who would have guessed? And they never cleaned up the debris either. Now it's just littering the hallway, and I have no idea how to get rid of it on my own. Shame about those windows. I'm not even going to ask about the milieus. Yeah, don't. Did someone here make stuffed animals? I saw mounts lying around. You mean Mr. Fabrin, the taxidermist? No, he mostly just did drugs. But what drugs did he do? I need to know what drugs he was doing for my police report. He got high on some weird taxidermy chemicals. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. Eventually, they caused him to lose control of his bladder. The smell was awful. Even you can probably do better than that. You can almost see it. A small, sickly old man, hunched behind his working desk, his pants stained with old piss, stuffing a sad, stiff-legged raccoon. The entire scene looks so tragic. What about the creepy mannequins? There used to be a fashion atelier here, but I've forgotten the head designer's name. They were doing well for a couple of years until the insect rights activists... What? The atelier produced a certain collection that used chitin among the materials. Apparently chitin is made in the Occident, where it's extracted from beetle wings. And you know how all kinds of political movements are big in the Occident. The activists shut down the biggest chitin suppliers, which of course caused the price to skyrocket. And naturally, all the most fashionable tastemakers refused to be seen in chitin from then on. The atelier went bankrupt before they could finish their collection. But insects don't have any brains or feelings. Actually, insects do have brains, but yes, I understand what you're saying. I think the protesters took it a little too far. As she shifts around, you notice several dead flies on the windowsill in front of her, legs up, and they're not moving. What's with the rotor blades and the skis? They were made by a company called Slipstream. After they pivoted from making rotor blades to skis, their chief executive took off on a vacation with all their money. Honestly, I think it's quite funny. I think he's still sending out holiday transmissions from Tallulah or Timotria or Kashkor or wherever he is. What do the transmissions say? The usual, I imagine. That he's been thinking up all kinds of new business plans and can't wait to get started on them just as soon as he returns. Men like that are a curse. Sure, but Slipstream's history now. All their remaining assets got seized by the bailiffs in 47. I have no idea why those skis and blades are still lying around in the house. Not much use now, I guess. They were just props, so I returned to them. Maybe you could make a sword out of one. No, wait, forget it. It would take far too long. I found this strange machine. Fortress Accident, the radio game studio. She liked them. They were an interesting bunch. We talked about role-playing systems every now and then. Once I even saw two of them get into fisticuffs over Woral. They certainly took their work very seriously, even if they seemed to be chronically liberal with their schedules. What do you mean liberal? What happened? The usual. They ran out of money and couldn't get the project done on time. What went wrong? Well, I did hear them talking at times. They seemed to believe there were historical individuals in some grand quest. She sounds almost mocking when she says that. Really? They must have been on a gigantic ego trip. That's what I thought, because when the money started to run out, they just began to complain a lot about capitalism. You know, how the markets are rigged to keep out new businesses. In the end, they just didn't get it done. They didn't have enough willpower to produce something truly historic and show up to work on time. Showing up to work on time is hard. No, scratch that. Showing up to work at all is difficult, especially if you've been drinking. That's too bad. I would have supported them. The project looked great. Not the wisest decision. You would have lost all your savings. The result is 1 on a 20-sided die. The dice is blank and filled with little silvery flakes. Anything else? There's a terrifying taxidermied bear in the cellar. Oh boy, the fabled Revachol Ice City. You're in for a treat there. The place was owned by two guys who had some rather innovative ideas about marketing. The bear was one of them. Now ask me about their other ideas. Indeed, what were they? Alright, tell me about the others. There was really just one. It involved picking out the prettiest girls in the neighborhood and paying them 20 cents per hour to man the booth. And by man the booth, I mean slump behind the counter with a face that could maim you if you even dared to disturb their bored magazine browsing. Sounds like she really doesn't know what it means to be a female ally. You should learn how to support other women, not bring them down. I'm not talking about women. There were also men, miniature gorilla-like boyfriends loitering near the ice cream stand. And they already had the bear. What about the bear? The bear? Didn't work out. Of course not. The bear was terrifying. No one wants ice cream guarded by a hostile apex predator. To make matters worse, the fridge didn't work too well either. And half the ice cream came out malformed and melted. Eventually, Revachol Ice City lost a price war to its rival, Glace 5000. Glace 5000 sold caramel sundaes for only 5 cents a piece out of regular fridges. The bear was scary. Every time I saw that bear, I felt scared, like it would come alive. The taxidermist who made it said it was his vision beast. He said he met his vision beast while high on desiccants and called it Megatherion. Pretty cool. Scary, but cool. What's a vision beast? It's an imaginary beast that guides you through life, by telling you to do more drugs, mostly. A wise and noble beast, guiding you towards the land where streets are paved with drugs. I don't do drugs. Very good. You shouldn't do them. You're a police officer, after all. Anyway, now you know the story of the fallen ice cream empire. The temperature's dropped on the cover of the night. You see frost on the windows. Well, I found the building's intercom, but it's not working. Oh, right! I hope you didn't try to ring me. I think none of the doorbells work, including mine. I'm still in the middle of connecting the wires. Sorry about the confusion. The doorbell with the empty name card must belong to her. East Delta Pinball, is that now in the Warling? Yes, I've heard it used to be a gaming arcade. This is an ancient failure before my time, but I'm not surprised, however. New task. The Doomed Hostel? Wait a minute. That means the Whirling is a part of the Doomed commercial area. Gart's gonna love this. I don't know this Gart, but something tells me he won't. So you're telling me that the doorbell with the empty name card was yours? That's right. I haven't even written my name there. As I said, it's quite useless right now. It doesn't even work. Strange thing happened when I tried calling Slipstream SCA. Someone answered. It can't be true. They don't work here anymore. They've been gone for years. Are you sure it was Slipstream SCA? Was it a woman? First, it wasn't Play, since I know her and would have recognized her. Alright, did this person say anything? She said she was from Tricentennial Electrics. Tricentennial Electrics? It used to be a major electric company 100 years ago. Are you sure it wasn't just some kids playing a prank on you? No, something else. More eerie. It was too real to be just a prank. Either we're dealing with a professional actress or... Whatever happened, keep your cool. It's probably better to admit it was a harmless prank. No, I think it may have been some sort of rare electrical anomaly. A prank is more likely, no? The kids these days. We were just one of them and now they're terrorizing us. No solidarity. Alright, that'll do. Thanks a bunch. Neela? Thanks. We've unlocked a new idea. The Precarious World. Temporary research bonus. all red checks fail. Yeah, don't fuck it up. So we gotta help Suna with her project, investigate the doomed commercial area, pick up the dice in the future, the doomed hostel, chat with Everett about the mailed signatures, and sing karaoke. Criminy. Well, I'm glad I'm on the east side now. Good night, everyone.